Are you there?
Yeah, I'm still here, brother.
Yeah, my power flickered, and I think we're still back live on the stream.
Yep, there we go. All right, there we go.
Yeah. Get this, the power flickered and everything went off, including the computer, but it flickered right back on, like the monitor went off, but the computer didn't. So my internet connection reset, and didn't miss a beat. So I'm back. All right.
Everybody was like, "No, why?" Oh, so
yeah.
yes.
So I mentioned to Red Mage that I'd actually had my internet go out for about an hour earlier. So if I happen to disappear, but it went out, but not too bad. So here we go, just in time for the big push. We see the Stalkers leading the way, but this is so many Marines and Marauders here for Deadly Craft. Deadly actually leading in terms of supply. The Viking count not nearly high enough, though. Decent force fields going to be really making the difference here for Minotaur. Another round of decent force fields, not the best, but not the worst. Trying to handle things on top of the ramp as well as he's getting surrounded on all sides. He actually manages to push Deadly all the way back. So he's got Deadly actually trapped in his base. Wow, great force fields there. Needs to be trying to take out this natural. I don't think this ball is going to be enough for a 100% sustained push at the moment. And now the SCV's being pulled off, having to go to town here on the Colossus Death Ball for Colossus, continuing to rain down the pain on Deadly Craft. And now looks like Deadly's, yeah, and this is exactly what I was talking about, Red Mage. Too many Marines. Just look how quickly and easily these Marines melt to these Colossi.
Oh, yeah, melting very, very quickly. Those Vikings not doing a whole lot. One of them just kind of going right out as opposed to trying to take down some of the Colossus. And, yeah, just more and more units being pulled off. Wow, absolutely devastating Deadly Craft right there. Wow, unbelievable. Glad you made it back just in time for that AC.
Oh, yeah.
That was absolutely amazing.
God wills it!
That's right. It is because...
God wills it! What movie's that from? Come on.
That was from Kingdom of Heaven.
Yes, a surprisingly good Orlando Bloom film. I gotta say, I went into it thinking it would be terrible. It was surprisingly good.
It was a very good movie. I definitely dug that. It was very cool to watch that, and I was there with them the whole time. And it was actually funny because it came out just before Assassin's Creed. So as soon as I got done with that, I was like, man, I really want to play Assassin's Creed even more now because I want to play more in that time period. So it was very smart marketing on their part to put that out right about the same time.
Oh yeah,
I don't know if that had anything to do with it, but I'm gonna give them credit on that.
No, I'd say it was probably, well, you know how it is, man. If you actually watch video games and movies, they tie into each other, not so much, I'm sorry, I'm trying to get the stream back up on my web browser, but they actually tie in not so much because they mean to, but a lot of times it's simply because they pretty much are in a situation where there's kind of like these things, you know, like popular stuff, like the flashback to the old Middle East or the alternate history approach and all that stuff. It gets popular all at once, you know?
Oh yeah, it gets very popular very quickly, you know, and you know, now it's funny. I was in the bookstore the other day, and everybody's ramping up for the end of the Harry Potter franchise and the beginning of the new Marvel stuff going on. So it's absolutely ridiculous everything that they've got going on right now. So you know, I'm happy to see. I guess the Twilight series is ending or is about to end or did end or something like that because they had all that stuff on clearance. So
who knows, man? Who cares? It's Twilight. All right, we got cards to give away, man, before they start asking who won.
Oh, actually, I'm sorry. I didn't have an opportunity to click over to the messages, so give me 1 second. Let me click over that while we get this game going. And is that a question mark to is he ready, or is that I don't understand what you're talking about, Minotaur. Speak to me in words. Use your words, Minotaur. Oh, my goodness. All right, I'm just going to start. I think they're ready.
All right.
There we go. There's the ready. Hey, good. I did it just as he said, ready, so I don't have to feel so bad. All right, go on here. Let me hit the refresh button there on that. So for everybody that participated, thank you guys and girls very, very much. And let's see who the winner was today. The winner is... Vadalicious is going to win themselves a pack of especially this Magic cards sponsored by Sean Yamabushi, and I'm not going to
Jujutsu and Combination Goju Ryu School of Self-Defense. Check them out at sanyamabushi-goju.com.
You are the man, AC. Thank you very much for picking that up. Yes, thank you very much. Those special edition cards will be in the mail Post haste once we get your information. If you could just send me a quick email again, Vodalicious, let me know that what your address is so we can send those out very, very quickly.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Deadly Craft says, P. Always, I never understood that. Why is it P? Please pause, I'm going to guess. Getting the lag
yes,
again.
Please pause.
I'm going to guess. It's got to be storming all over the friggin' country, man, because I know you had some issues earlier today. It's raining cats and dogs outside for me. I'm just thankful we got the connection back. And stop trying to send you those packets. Packets of ramen, please. Can has. But anyway, guys, yeah, thanks so much. Congratulations. Who was it, the one again? I know you just said their name. I want to make sure I pronounce it correctly.
Vadalicious.
Congratulations, Vadalicious. That's a name I don't really recognize. If you've been around and I haven't seen you, I'm very, very sorry. But if you're a new member, thanks for stopping in, man. We're glad to have you involved and look forward to having you as part of the It's Gosu community. Don't forget the Omega Divisional is tomorrow night. That's going to be our Diamond Master and Grandmaster tournament, and looking forward to everyone turning out for that. And by the way, for the Omega Divisionals in particular, there's going to be increases in terms of the prize pool for coaching hours in our Beta and Alpha Divisional starting in July with our 2011 Summer Tournament Series. But concerning the Omega Divisionals, I think you guys are going to be pretty damn impressed at what we're going to be able to field in terms of a prize pool every single week. And in terms of the talent, I believe we're going to be able to draw. So there we go. Deadly Craft resumes the game just in time. Minotaur going to be our four-time, seeking his 5th championship, our 4-time defending champion, spawning in the orange like a boss, because that's what I play, our boss toss in the orange. At the 9 o'clock position, across the map at the 3 o'clock position, Deadly Craft, our challenger, our guy who stepped up and says, you know what, even though I got beat because he had to leave, I'm ready to move in. I think I can beat you too. Our Terran hero in the blue, spawning at the 3 o'clock position. So, Deadly Craft looked pretty good for most of the last game, but again, if you're going to take on a Protoss, especially one who plays the way Minotaur does, which is very Colossus heavy in every matchup, no matter what he's doing, he tends to favor high Colossus numbers. You really can't have that many Marines. You just can't.
Oh, absolutely not. And I was actually told it's Vatolicious. Vatolicious.
Vatolicious.
Vatolicious. So yeah, Vatolicious, congratulations and welcome to the stream.
Sounds like a gang name for it sounds like a gang name for an Italian.
Vatolicious.
Exactly.
Actually, you know, I actually work with I actually had a boss. His last name was Vigilante. And I always thought that was like,
I don't buy it. He's lying.
No,
Nobody.
No. His actual last, I won't say his first name, but it was very Italian. His last name was Vigilante. You want to know the really weird thing about this?
What?
Is when I was a manager of apartment communities in Woodbridge, Virginia, I was set to do an audit on all the people that were there, and I ran across blank Vigilante, and I remember talking to some of the other staff members, like, that has got to be the ultimate gang, mafia name right there, Vigilante. Like,
right.
You just sound money. And years later, I would actually, I have run into that individual on several occasions, and then he actually became my boss. And And the worst part about that is I actually because it was a low income tax credit housing, we had to evict him because he made too much money, and I was the one that signed over the papers. So I evicted him, because he didn't qualify for certain things. So it was actually kind of funny later on that he and I were talking about it, and I was like, oh man, I'm sorry, I kicked you out of the apartment. He actually lived right across the hall from me too, and I didn't even know it.
Oh wow!
Absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, it was all kinds of weird the way that his and my fates intertwined. But yeah, so yeah, somebody named Vigilante. I thought that was just so money that he was from Italy. And his last name was Vigilante, and I was like, man, any more stereotypes you want to pile on there?
I'll tell you what, I'll tie in. That is the second ultimate Italian name. The ultimate Italian name so far as Mafia would go would be Omerta, and the first person that can tell me what that means or the origin of that word, we'll get a big less than 3 from AC. Anyway, Deadly Craft, I've been keeping the cam on it while you're telling your story. Has proxied a barracks now, beginning to churn out Marauders. He's also got a barracks back in his own base, and he does have. No concussive shell research is already done. No, not even started. So a little bit of a mistake there. If you're going to be doing any kind of proxy marauder push, you're really going to need that concussive shell early on in the game. And right now would be the time to push because Minotaur is about 30 seconds away from having a gigantic warp-in ability to punish this, going with the 4 warp gate back at home. And this is going to be a non-all-in version. He's actually not making probes at the moment. He has cut probes, but he is mining gas, so he's going to be able to tech switch a little bit. Here come the Marauders, and this is exactly why, if you're going to push, you got to push early. If he'd have pushed early enough, now a second sentry joins. He's got one more warp in, and now the Stalker going to get caught in a bad waypoint and taken out. So is he going to be able to cut off one of these? No, he's going to use the last force field he has on reserve, but it doesn't matter. The 4 warp gates are going to be able to open. So we're going to have a little mini cheese rush here with Marines and Marauders taking place right here on the ramp of Minotaur. 4 more Stalkers on the way, and here we go. He's going to push down and start shelling away at one of these Marauders. The Marauders going to push up with some light Marine support and then withdraw. So Deadly Craft really wants to get in his opponent's face now. And oh no, Minotaur's got a pylon in his opponent's base, and I don't know that. Yes, there we go. Deadly has spotted it. He's got the SCVs pulled to try and deal with it. Now beginning to push in, and he gets his army cut in half. 2 of the Marauders get picked off easily. The sentry's way too far out front. Needs to pull those back. Good micro there. This is going to get cleaned up pretty easy by Minotaur. Back at home, Zealots coming in now. Looks like Deadly's going to drop this game as well, Red Mage.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And there's the GG there by Deadly Craft, seeing that all of his early work has been completely devastated there by Minotaur. Moving into the 3rd game now in a best of 5 series. Wow, absolutely phenomenal there. I'm Red Mage, that's AC, and you're here watching the It's Gosu IG Alpha Divisional number 9, brought to you by itsgosu.com and It's Gosu Esports.
Oh, exactly. So, I'm AC, that's Red Mage, this is It's Gosu, and you guys are awesome, is what I'm telling you. And, yeah, let's see, somebody said, AC, am I right? Red Mage, AC, am I right? Haley would have crushed VP. I don't know, I don't make calls like that, so, anyway.
I think he was actually asking about the code of honor in southern Italy. Zoak wanted to know if that was right.
I'm sorry, yeah, I didn't catch that. No, that is correct. The Code of Omerta, one of the most badass concepts ever invented, existed with the Mafia. Basically, if you and I were rival Mafia members, and you shot me, and I somehow survived, and the cops found me, and they said, okay, who shot you? And even if I had proof, if I had indisputable proof that it was you that shot me, the Code of Omerta is binding, which means I can never work with the police. Even though you and I might be mortal enemies, you and I are enemies in our own world, and never will we involve outsiders in a way that brings authority into our world outside of our own. That is the Code of Omerta. That is to honor Omerta. Awesome concept. I love it.
Sorry, Deadly StarCraft is actually having a ton of power issues and lag issues on his end. He may not be able to continue. I'm just trying to figure that out right now. Give me one more second.
All right, not a problem. I see Plath said, "Thanks, AC. You're awesome too." And I'm not sure. I'm not sure what that's referring to. But hey, Plath, you know we friggin' love you, man. We're working out the issues with Deadly. Ask more questions. All right, time to show off my academic skills. I'm trying to see. Everybody's got some go-to questions, but all right, here we go. Here's a literature one. This one's actually going to be very easy. What item that was left by Shakespeare to his wife have many people considered to be a slap in the face from the grave, and is by far the most interesting item given out to his wife in Shakespeare's will? Okay? If you know this, you know it. There's no way you can mistake it. And Shake Master says he's got an English lit question for me. Hit me, Shake Master, while everybody else ponders my Shakespeare question. Shake Master, give me something. Give me a good literature question. And don't give me some obscure book. Give me a true literature question. You're going to ask an English lit major. Well, technically English lit / professional writing and editing major. Something, give it to me. Anonymous note, was not a teddy bear filled with banana pudding. That would have worked if I had asked what I want for Christmas, yes. Over hill, through the dale, bush through briar. Name that play. Over the hill, over the dale, bush through briar. I'm not really, like, if that's something, through the dale, bush through briar, is that a line from a play? Or is that like...
by Shakespeare.
Yeah.
Is that,
well, it depends. Well, no, it depends on if that's a line from a play or if that's like a summation or something like that. Line from a play, then I don't have a clue. That doesn't ring a bell for me.
Oh, it was Macbeth? Nice. Oh, nice.
Vadalicious says he kind of knows. He left his... okay, so what 3 figures in the final ring of hell, and what are they doing, and for what crime in Dante's Inferno? Answer me that. The first of all is, of course, Lucifer. Lucifer is sitting inside the mouth of... inside the mouth. They're all 3 deceivers, by the way. That is the number 1, according to Dante. That is the number one sin that lands you down in the depths of hell, which, might I add, is described as cold and not hot. It is extremely cold. They are encased in a block of ice. And Judas is in the mouth of Lucifer himself. And the other two deceivers, who were they? It was Judas Iscariot, and it's been so long since I've read Dante's Inferno. We're talking, it's been like, because I took that my sophomore year of English. I haven't read it in a long time. Brutus and Cassius. There we go. I was thinking it was a Roman, but for whatever reason, I kind of had it in my head it was someone that Dante actually knew, because the entire point, by the way, of Dante's Inferno was to lash back at the papacy that had expelled Dante for his beliefs and political affiliations. So, Dante, a lot of the people that show up in Dante's Inferno were guys that he absolutely hated. And yes, Confederacy of Dunces by O'Toole is absolutely amazing, Shakemaster. But anyway, all right, what's the status of Deadly, my friend?
He's going to go in. He's going to try to suffer through it here, see what he can do.
All right,
and hopefully he can give us a good game here. So he's worried about not being able to give us a good game. I told him, play what you can. So we'll hopefully get. Oh, that's right, you're not in the chat.
Jacques Triple O, he says, have you ever read Ender's Game? Depending on how old you are, Jacques, I probably read it before you could even read. Yes, I read Ender's Game and own all the books and have read through them, although Ender's Game, as good as it was actually inferior to Speaker for the Dead. Speaker for the Dead, by far the best work of science fiction to come out, probably in the last, I'll give it the last 20 years, since Heinlein. Yeah, about the last 20 years. I'm a big Robert Heinlein fan, by the way. Let's say, was the present... Okay, DJ Finals got it. Yes, the present that Shakespeare left to his wife that has been construed as perhaps a veiled insult to his wife from the grave was he left his second best bed. Absolutely. So Ender's Game, Speaker of the Dead, was not better than Ender's Game. Jacques, man, it all depends on what you like. As unabashed science fiction, Ender's Game was superior. As a work of literature and a work of fiction, Speaker for the Dead was unabashedly better, without a doubt. No doubt about it.
I like parts of Speaker for the Dead, but I like the overall feeling of Ender's Game. I had a much better emotional attachment to Ender's Game, but I did like a lot of the stuff that he did when he started getting really religious. And it is when I started to kind of I started to take myself out of the whole thing.
No, I understand.
But if you I don't know if you've seen it, they actually did a true sequel to Ender's Game. Months ago.
I'm not gonna lie, man. Anytime a series is revisited in books, whenever they resurrect it out of nowhere, when it's obvious it's just done for money, even if it's supposed to be a good book, and even if it's by an author I kind of like, I refuse to read it just because I'm that way. I'm that peculiar. Okay, I don't care.
You're book sensitive, and I can definitely appreciate that. I can definitely appreciate that. I don't like going back to movies that do that, where they do that and then they do a prequel and then they do a sequel to the original, but not a sequel to the prequel, which was better than the original. So
okay,
I've got just like that.
I've got a good one for you for all the book nerds. It's apparently some book nerds. I'm really pleased. I just got to talk literature in a downtime on the StarCraft chat. How awesome is that? Anyone who tells you, by the way, that you can't learn anything from video games, just show them the VOD of this. But all right, here's a good trivia question while we move into this game, and all the fun stuff is happening here in the early game. This is actually kind of a tough one, and no looking, no cheating, no googling it. Major, major, major. One of, well, four majors actually. It was major, 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 major. From Catch-22. When he was born, his father was supposed to have given him a first name that was not Major. What was Major, Major, Major's first name supposed to have been if the husband had kept the promise to his wife? Anyway, moving in. Deadly Craft.
I have no idea.
That's a tough one. I'm not going to lie. That's just because I love Catch-22, and I've written... I actually did a thesis on it at one point as a transitory novel in the American canon. But anyway... Minotaur, moving up with the probe, going to spot this early wall in. Deadly Craft is going to... I like this. I love this build. This is very similar to what I've done before. This might even be a build that I've shown him. But you get this wall up extremely fast. It basically prevents any sort of scouting information whatsoever, which in itself is a giveaway in its own right. But that's fine. You can give away that you don't want scouted. I mean, there's only so much you can scout from that. Cybernetics core going down, second gas back here from Minotaur, so it doesn't look like he's going to be doing any kind of crazy 4 warp gate with the second gas. Any guesses in the chat, by the way, as to the first name of Major, Major, Major?
Somebody said General.
No, no. Not General. Good guess, though. I'll give him credit for that. That sounds...
Caleb?
Caleb is correct. Who said that?
Zoak, I believe was the first
Zoak.
one.
All right, Zoak. You and I, we gonna be boys, okay? If you know that.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Tally said it first.
Tally said it. All right. Either way, big less than 3 to my book nerds. Zoak and Tally and everyone else asking these questions. Shake asked one, and yeah, I'm a big book nerd, man. I am, and I'll tell you what. If anyone reads Robert Heinlein or knows Robert Heinlein,
Zayak. I'm Zayak. Sorry, Zayak.
Zayak. Okay. Either
Zayak.
way.
Sorry.
Oh, wow. Deadly Craft is going to 6 racks. He wants to get a game in. He wants to win. So he's going to try and steal a game here from Minotaur on Xel'Naga Caverns. Immediately going up to 6 racks, and I think Minotaur might be sniffing it. That's usually this or an extreme fast expand is what you're almost always going to see when you see an extremely fast double depot to block any sort of scouting information. No way to know for sure, but we see the proxy pylon down from Minotaur. But anyway... I'll talk about Heinlein later. Anyway, you can ask me anything about Robert Heinlein's books, and I'll know the answer. I am unashamed. There's no way I very rarely will you think of something, even if you had the books in front of you, it'd be hard for you to come up with something I wouldn't know, and I'll explain why later. But the Marine's going to chase out this Stalker. He's kind of giving himself away. This is a little bit of a high Marine count for this point in the game, given this wall in, so he's got to know it's not going to be a fast expand. Instead, he's got to start expecting a hell of a lot of Marines pouring down his throat very soon.
Oh yeah, he has got to know something is up with that. You know, he just had a Stalker turned away there by a good stack of Marines that really at this time, shouldn't be that many.
Right.
He might think if he was planning to do something else, but we do see that proxy starport coming in. He's definitely going to start using those void rays, do something pretty adventurous there,
right.
Trying to draw out that little army there, see what he can do with it. But all in all, Deadly is not really revealing his hand all that well. Now he's going to reveal his hand as even more Marines just start pouring out of that ramp.
Well, I got to say, unfortunately for Deadly, he did not execute this quite right. He did not cut SCVs when he should have, so he's going to be a little bit behind. It's going to be real hard for him to support, and he's actually continuing to produce SCVs, so this is not going to be as strong or as potent as it possibly could be. And oh no, Minotaur is beginning to warp units in there. That's either going to be really bad for him or really good for him. He's probably going to try and base trade once he realizes what's going on. The Void Ray leading the way, going to run into a handful of Marines, though. The Marines going to be caught still on the rally point, now being put on the attack move. The Void Ray chased away, but the Stalker's going to be able to easily deal with this. He needs to raise that supply depot out. It's not going to matter. Looks like Minotaur is just going to go ahead and, yep, we're going to see a base trade. Here we go. Deadly Craft moving into the base here of Minotaur. He's going to have free reign, no doubt about it, and I'm sure the units are not going to be warped in here. That's too many Marines to warp in any units. So instead, it's going to be all about who can kill who faster and who can defend the last leftover buildings the fastest. So here we go. Minotaur moving in, beginning to target down the barracks. Going to take that down slowly. Back at home, he's still got the Stargate. And this is really going to be huge in terms of him trying to base trade. He's got to defend this and hope that his opponent does not scout where it is. The Nexus actually going down at Deadly Craft's expansion. A good force field there. Going to prevent the SCVs from getting in and doing any damage. So Minotaur is going to be able to win this battle absolutely without taking any damage whatsoever. Back at home, the Marines still going to town. Now the probes are pulled. They're going to try and do what? No, he's actually not going to try and attack. He's going to try and run away. The Marines going to chase them as well as they can. Needs to turn around and target the buildings. Does not need to be running up to engage this army right now. This is not the right call. So if Minotaur actually has 875 minerals but no functioning gateway, so he's not going to be able to do anything else except out of this Stargate, and actually that's a mistake. Minotaur needs to be producing out of that Stargate right now. He's going to need all the firepower he can get. The Void Rays going to town on the barracks, taking this out. Oh, what a race here, Red Mage.
Oh yeah, absolutely big race, and already Deadly's floated off that orbital up there in the upper right-hand corner. Now it looks like he's going to float it down to the bottom right-hand side. Yep, there's the image. He's definitely going to take on that little outcropping there, and Deadly's searching around right now with those Marines, trying to find out where all the rest of these units are. And as soon as he comes out of this hallway, he's going to spot it right there, and it's natural. Those cannons have got to hurry up.
No, he didn't spot the Stargate. I'm looking at his vision. He ran right across and didn't see it, so he may be able to take the rest of this out, but he's not going to know where that Stargate is. He's going to have to suspect, though, with the Void Rays coming out of here. This Void Raid needs to pull back and everything's going to have to attack at once if Minotaur's going to have any chance of dealing with this whatsoever. The Marine count might just be too high, though. The probes are going to have to get involved. These Marines have not been stemmed. They've barely taken any damage. We see the orbital command floating down to the 3 o'clock position. Still going to town are these Void Rays and this one Stalker. Not sure what happened to the rest of the units. I'm going to guess something had to have happened to him. The probe's running away again, and he doesn't have enough to build another Nexus, so there's nothing he can do. He's not going to be able to rebuild a base. And it's going to be 3 Void Rays and a Stalker versus a crap ton of Marines. And I think this is going to be GG. I think Deadly's going to take home a win here.
I think so. He's got just enough.
Oh, no, he spotted the command center. He spotted the command center. This is the last building that Deadly has on the map. If he's going to do it. All he has to do is kill this command center, and it doesn't matter what Deadly has. He won't have any more buildings. So he's on the clock. The Marines, they're rushing up the ramp, going to the wrong spot. I don't think Deadly realizes how precarious his position is. Now they go, there's the GG. So wow, Deadly should have had that. There it is. Wow, BP Minotaur in an amazing game with Deadly Craft is going to take home his 5th consecutive Alpha Divisional here, brought to you by itsgosu.com.
Oh, man, so absolutely ridiculous. My goodness, what a great end right there to the Alpha Divisional number 9. And another win there for Minotaur, seeding up to 5 wins right there. My goodness gracious, what a huge thing. So thank you all very, very much for sticking it out with us tonight. Despite all of our little minor issues that we had, sticking out with us in the chat. Make sure to hit up itsgosu.com, all of our forums, all of our replays, all of our articles, tons and tons of great stuff going on. So we hope to see everybody back again tomorrow for the Omega. That's going to be just as much fun. We'll be, of course, set aside for Diamond on up. Absolutely going to be a blast right there. AC and I will be here as always. AC, it's a total pleasure again, my friend.
Oh, as always, my friend. I can't wait for this weekend. You and I get to kick it in real life, in the flesh, and it's going to be a blast. SC2 Live, I just lost some fans. I'm sorry. Oh, Deadly. Nobody, you didn't lose no fans. We love you anyway. Absolutely anyway. So if you have time, I need you guys to make your own rules at some point. And Tyrannism, being the forerunner on the It's Goes to Drinking game, we're going to make a night of that sometime in July, brother. That's what we got to do. Plath says, AC, have you read Bravo 2-0? No, I have not. I'm not even familiar with that. So I'm trying to read up. There's a ton of questions we got to ask, so I'm trying to catch these before we bail out of here, Red Mage. Deadly. There's a question. He wants more tourneys. This I also play here. That's cool. You can promote other places. Doesn't bother me a bit. Team Madness. Don't know who these guys are, but hey, if they do tournaments, so long as you guys come out and play with us, I don't care what else you play in, so do not care one little bit. So, let's see. Anybody else? Any last thoughts, guys? Have you read Remember the Earth? No, I've read a lot of Asimov, and I've read a little bit of the Remember the Earth series. Not a ton of it, though. Tally says, I'll win the next Alpha. TM doesn't play the same days. It has been called. I'll win the next... I love our chat. I love our viewers so much. Just going to call them out. Animanius, Antarianism, B-Rob in the house, Cloud Berserk, Deadly SC2 Live. Congrats, man, for making it to the finals. You gave him a run for his money. DJ Final, DS Nen. Ill Balls, I'm going to guess is what that is. That are 3 L's in balls. It's a Riot. One Superman. Paradox 0. Plafo 8. Search 799. Shake Master 52. Thor Fan. Tally. Unassorted. Vatolicious, our Magic the Gathering card winner. Congratulations to him again. Jacques000. And everybody else out there on the internet. We'll be back tomorrow night with our Omega Divisional. I'm AC. That's Red Mage JR. Red Mage, final thoughts, brother.
Great job to everybody. We can't wait to see what you all come up with. We can't wait to see all the participation in the forums. Don't forget to use the blog features and all that other great community stuff that we have there at itsgosu.com and It's Gosu Esports. We look forward to seeing everybody back again tomorrow. And thank you all very, very much. AC and I can't thank you all enough. And again, thank you, Mr. Mini-Me, Voss at SKS Stark, for all your work behind the scenes. We would be lost without you.
Absolutely. All right, guys, we're out. We'll see you tomorrow night at 7 p.m. sharp, Omega Divisional. Have a good night.